In the heart of nearly every ancient civilization, from Sumer to Egypt, from Kabbalistic mysticism to Norse mythology, there stands a sacred symbol, rooted deep within the earth, reaching toward the heavens, the Tree of Life. Have you ever wondered why the ancient world's most powerful symbols often revolve around a tree? The Tree of Life, its roots stretching deep into the unknown, its branches reaching toward the heavens, holds more secrets than we can begin to understand. It is a symbol that transcends cultures, from the sacred texts of the Bible to the wisdom of the Kabbalistic traditions, from ancient Mesopotamia to the far reaches of the mystical East. But what if I told you that the Tree of Life is not just a symbol, it's a map? A map of the soul, the universe, and the very fabric of existence itself. For millennia, the Tree of Life has stood as a bridge between the material and the divine, an archetype of cosmic wisdom, spiritual ascent, and the mysteries of creation. But what does it truly mean? What secrets does it unlock about our very nature and our place in this vast, mysterious universe? And how can we access its ancient wisdom in our modern lives? In this video, we will journey deep into the heart of the Tree of Life, uncovering its hidden meanings and its relevance in our spiritual lives today. We will trace its origins across ancient civilizations, explore its profound philosophical roots, and unlock its secrets through the lens of esoteric knowledge. By the end of this exploration, you will have a new understanding of this symbol, a key to unlocking your own higher consciousness and connecting to the very source of creation itself. But be warned, this is not simply an intellectual exploration. The Tree of Life is not just a concept to be studied, it is a force to be experienced, a living presence that can awaken something deep within you. Are you ready to uncover its mysteries? To delve into the realms of ancient wisdom and hidden truths? Let's begin. The Tree of Life is not just a symbol, but a thread woven through the very fabric of human history, a thread that binds together ancient cultures, spiritual traditions, and philosophical systems, often in ways we have yet to fully comprehend. Its first appearance can be traced back over 6,000 years, to the ancient Sumerians, who carved the image of the tree into the walls of their temples, alongside depictions of the gods who walked among them. The Sumerian Tree of Life was said to represent the connection between the heavens and the earth, a bridge between the gods and humankind. But it was more than a symbolic representation, it was a living blueprint, a map for those seeking spiritual enlightenment. In Egypt, the tree took the form of the sycamore of Hathor, a sacred tree that offered shade and comfort to the deceased on their journey to the afterlife. Hathor, the goddess of love, music, and cosmic order, was believed to reside within this tree, symbolizing the nurturing and transformative aspects of the divine. Again, the tree served as more than a simple symbol of life. It was the very conduit through which one passed into spiritual rebirth. The Hebrew Kabbalistic tradition offers perhaps the most well-known depiction in the Western world, the Etzheim, the Tree of Life. In Kabbalah, the tree is not merely a tree but a sacred diagram, a map of the soul's journey through the various dimensions of existence. Its branches form 10 distinct sephiroth, or emanations, each representing a divine attribute. These sephiroth form the structure of the universe itself, from the highest spiritual realms down to the physical world we inhabit. The tree in this tradition is an intricate, living structure that can be ascended, step by step, by those who seek wisdom and enlightenment. But why has the Tree of Life been so carefully guarded throughout history? Why has its true meaning remained shrouded in mystery, hidden from the masses? The answer lies in the nature of the tree itself. It is not simply a piece of ancient iconography, it is a tool of transformation. Those who fully comprehend its meaning are said to awaken to the deeper currents of existence. The tree, with its intricate branches and roots, is a guide to the hidden dimensions of reality. It reveals the path to spiritual evolution, the understanding of the self, and the divine order of the cosmos. For centuries, this sacred knowledge has been passed down in esoteric circles, through secret societies, mystery schools, and mystical traditions. Those in the know guarded its teachings, not out of elitism, but because the tree holds the power to alter one's very perception of reality. It offers a direct connection to the divine, allowing individuals to transcend the ordinary and enter into the extraordinary. Yet, for all the secrecy and the cryptic symbols, the tree of life has never truly been lost. Its roots run deep in the soil of human consciousness. It speaks to us in dreams, in sacred art, in the hidden codes of ancient texts. Even in today's world, the tree continues to whisper its wisdom to those who are ready to listen, whether in the form of personal transformation, spiritual awakening, or the discovery of universal truths. We are not merely looking at an ancient relic, we are looking at the structure of life itself. Now that we understand the historical weight of the tree of life, let us begin to peel back the layers of its deeper meanings. The tree is not simply a symbol, it is a living, breathing manifestation of the cosmos. Every branch, every leaf, every root is a reflection of deeper truths, truths that speak not only of the universe but of the very nature of the self. To grasp its true meaning, we must begin to see it not as something out there, but as a map of you, your journey, your essence, and your potential. At first glance, the tree of life appears to be an intricate design of branches and roots, but it is far more than a static image. The tree is alive. It is a dynamic structure, capable of growth, transformation, and even ascension. Think of it as a divine circuit board, with each part of the tree representing a different aspect of reality, from the physical to the metaphysical, from the conscious to the unconscious. Let us begin with the trunk of the tree, the central axis. In many traditions, this is where the energy of life flows from the highest realms of spirit down to the lowest realms of matter. It is the axis mundi, the center of the world, the pillar that connects all of existence. It is the spine of creation, the path through which divine energy flows. In the Kabbalistic tree, this central pillar is known as the middle pillar, and is composed of the three primary Sephiroth, Keter, crown, Tiferet, beauty, and Yesod, foundation. These are the higher levels of consciousness, the realms of divine intellect and will. Keter represents the ultimate source, the spark of creation, while Tiferet is the balancing force, the heart of the tree, where the energies of the divine find harmony. Yesod is the foundation, the grounding point between the spiritual and material worlds. The branches of the tree extend outward from this central trunk, representing the various paths of spiritual and intellectual growth. Each branch leads to a different realization, a different dimension of experience, each one offering a unique challenge and a corresponding reward. In this way, the branches symbolize our choices, our development, and the paths we must walk in life. Consider the branches as the virtues or qualities that we must cultivate in order to ascend. For example, Chesed, mercy, represents generosity, compassion, and the expansive energy of the divine. In contrast, Gevura, severity, represents discipline, structure, and the ability to discern and cut away what does not serve the divine order. Together, these forces form a balance, an interplay between mercy and severity, creation and destruction, growth and limitation. It is through this delicate balance that we ascend the tree, as we learn to navigate between these dual forces within ourselves. The roots of the tree are equally important. They anchor us to the physical world, the earthly realm from which we draw our sustenance. In the Kabbalistic tradition, the roots are symbolized by Malkuth, kingdom, which represents the material world, the physical realm we experience daily. Malkuth is where everything begins, where the divine energy from above begins its descent into the physical world, and where it ultimately manifests. But here's the twist: the roots also represent our potential to transcend the physical realm. While they may appear grounded in the material world, they actually serve as the starting point for spiritual ascent. The journey upward through the tree is a journey that begins in the most ordinary and material aspects of life, only to lead us to higher states of being. The tree invites us to recognize that our connection to the physical world is not a limitation, but a vital part of our spiritual evolution. Our roots are what allow us to grow and transform. To fully understand the tree's significance, we must also recognize that it is not linear. It is not simply a straight path from the roots to the top. Instead, the tree is a fractal, a multidimensional map of possibilities. Each branch, each sapphira, holds countless pathways, allowing for infinite combinations of experience, growth, and transformation. As you walk the path of the tree, you may find that it twists, turns, and even loops back upon itself. This cyclical nature of the tree reflects the process of spiritual growth, a journey of constant unfolding, where each ascent brings with it the opportunity for deeper self-awareness and enlightenment. The tree, then, is a mirror of life itself, constantly evolving, constantly growing, and ever reaching toward the divine. As we delve deeper into the tree of life, we move beyond the surface, where it becomes apparent that this sacred symbol is not merely a spiritual roadmap but a profound metaphysical paradox. The tree, in its fullness, reflects the complexities of existence itself, its contradictions, its mysteries, and its inherent truths. The deeper you look, the more layers you uncover, revealing the dualities and hidden dimensions that govern reality. At the heart of the tree of life lies the concept of unity, but not unity in the way we might expect. It's a unity that is simultaneously whole and fragmented, a unity that exists within diversity. Think of it like the sacred dance of opposites, light and dark, creation and destruction, masculine and feminine. These dualities are not separate or opposed to each other. They are interwoven, interconnected, and even essential to one another's existence. Without the tension between them, the flow of life would cease. The tree reveals this eternal dynamic, the duality within unity, which is a fundamental truth of the cosmos. Consider, for instance, the relationship between chesed, mercy, and gevura, severity, two opposing forces within the tree. Chesed is expansive, compassionate, and overflowing, while gevura is strict, controlled, and discerning. On the surface, these forces seem to be in direct conflict, but in reality, they are mutually necessary. Without the softening influence of chesed, gevura would be too harsh, too destructive. Conversely, without the structure of gevura, chesed would be uncontrolled and chaotic. Together, they form a harmonious balance, an energetic dance that propels the soul forward on its path. This tension between opposites also appears within the tree's higher Sephiroth. Take Keter, crown, the highest point of the tree, representing the divine source of all creation. Keter is infinite, formless, and beyond comprehension. But when Keter flows downward into Tiferet, beauty, it takes shape, becoming both a reflection of divine beauty and the balance of opposites. From Tiferet, the energy continues to flow downward, becoming more and more manifest in the world of form. This downward flow from the infinite to the finite, from the formless to the formed, is a key dynamic of the tree. The descent of the divine energy is not a one-way process, however. As much as the tree's energy flows downward into material reality, there is also an upward movement, a process of spiritual ascent. This ascent is the journey of the soul, as it climbs the branches of the tree, seeking to reunite with its divine source. The cycle of descent and ascent mirrors the spiritual journey of humanity, where we are born into the material world, only to eventually seek the higher realms of consciousness and transcendence. But here lies another paradox. The higher one ascends, the more one realizes that the boundaries between the material and spiritual worlds are not as rigid as they seem. The physical world, as represented by Maketh, kingdom, is not merely a world of illusion or separation, as some spiritual traditions claim. Rather, it is the point of entry, the threshold, where the spiritual and physical converge. The material world, with all its beauty and chaos, is a reflection of the divine order. To ascend the tree is to recognize that the physical and spiritual realms are not two opposing forces, they are two sides of the same coin. Consider this. In the Norse traditions, the world tree Yggdrasil stands at the center of the universe, its roots burrowing deep into the underworld and its branches stretching out into the heavens. The tree is the axis upon which the entire cosmos turns. Like the tree of life, Yggdrasil represents the interconnectedness of all things, past, present, and future, material and spiritual. This is the essence of the tree. It connects us to all realms, all dimensions, all aspects of existence. The tree also speaks to us of cycles, the eternal cycle of life, death, and rebirth. The branches of the tree may seem to extend infinitely into the heavens, but they also bend and wither, much like the cycle of seasons. In ancient traditions, the act of shamanic death, a symbolic or literal death and rebirth, was often linked to the imagery of the tree. To undergo spiritual death is to shed the old, to break free from the constraints of the material world, and to rise again in a new form, with greater wisdom and understanding. In this light, the tree is not just a symbol of life, it is also a symbol of transformation. The true meaning of the tree of life lies not in some static, fixed state but in its ability to transform, to help us see the world not as it appears but as it could be. It is the guide for spiritual awakening, the divine blueprint for self-realization. To walk the path of the tree is to embrace transformation at every level, mental, emotional, spiritual, and physical. And this transformation is not just a personal journey, it is a cosmic one. As we ascend the tree, we are not merely elevating our own consciousness, we are participating in the evolution of the universe itself. We are co-creators with the divine, working together with the forces of nature and spirit to shape the future of all existence. Now that we have uncovered the profound mysteries of the tree of life, it's time to turn this ancient knowledge into something tangible. The tree is not just an abstract concept, it is a living, breathing framework for transformation, something you can actively engage with to enhance your life, your consciousness, and your spiritual journey. But how? How can you, in the midst of the chaos of modern life, apply the wisdom of the tree to your own path of self-discovery and ascension? The answer lies in integrating its lessons into your daily practices. By consciously aligning with the energies of the tree, you can begin to elevate your mind, body, and spirit to higher states of awareness. Start with the middle pillar, balance and harmony. The first step in applying the wisdom of the tree is to cultivate balance and harmony within yourself. The middle pillar of the tree, composed of Keter, Tiferet, and Yesod, represents the highest aspects of divine consciousness and the point where these energies descend into the material world. To begin aligning with these forces, consider practicing daily meditation or breathwork focused on balancing your energy centers. Sit quietly and visualize the flow of energy moving from the crown of your head, Keter, down through your heart, Tiferet, and into your sacral area, Yesod. Imagine the divine light descending, balancing each part of your being, from your intellectual thoughts to your emotional core and down to your base instincts. This practice will help you harmonize your mind, heart, and body, setting a foundation for your spiritual ascent. Work with the dualities, mercy and severity. As you begin your spiritual journey, take time to examine the dualities within your own nature, Chesed, mercy, and Gevura, severity. Where do you lean more heavily? Are you too giving, to the point of self-sacrifice? Or do you tend to be rigid and overly disciplined? The balance between mercy and severity is key to spiritual growth. To cultivate this balance, start by practicing both qualities in everyday life. Show mercy and compassion to those in need, but also be firm in your personal boundaries. Practice saying no when necessary, while also offering kindness and generosity when it's called for. As you learn to navigate these opposites within yourself, you will begin to feel the harmonizing effect of Chesed and Gevura, aligning you with the flow of the tree itself. Connect with the roots, grounding and manifestation. The roots of the tree represent Maketh, the material world, where the divine energy from the higher Sephiroth manifests into physical reality. Grounding is a crucial practice in connecting with the tree, as it allows you to stay present and receptive to the divine flow while also remaining connected to the earth. A simple grounding practice involves connecting with nature. Spend time outside, placing your bare feet on the earth. Feel the energy of the earth beneath you, and visualize it flowing upward through your roots, energizing you with vitality and clarity. This practice will not only center your energy but also remind you that the spiritual and physical realms are not separate, they are interconnected. Another grounding technique is to write down your intentions. Take some time each day to record your goals, your desires, and your reflections. This act of writing helps bring abstract ideas into the physical world, manifesting them in a tangible form. By consciously grounding your thoughts, you align with the roots of the tree, preparing for the ascent that lies ahead. Ascent through the tree, spiritual growth and meditation. The ultimate goal of the tree of life is spiritual ascension. As you progress along your path, your consciousness will begin to expand, and you will start to experience deeper levels of awareness. This requires dedication and inner work, but the tree offers a structured path to follow. Start by choosing one sphere of the tree each week or month to focus on. For example, spend a week focusing on Chesed, reflecting on the ways you can cultivate mercy and compassion in your life. Once you feel a shift in your awareness, move to the next Sephira, working your way upward. This process is a journey of inner transformation, where each sapphira represents a new layer of consciousness that you are unlocking. Also, consider practicing visualization during your meditation. Imagine yourself climbing the tree, step by step, as you ascend through the Sephiroth. With each step, visualize your consciousness expanding, shedding old limitations, and becoming more attuned to divine wisdom. This exercise will not only help you cultivate personal growth but will also foster a deeper connection with the tree as a guide for your spiritual evolution. Integration into daily life. Finally, remember that the tree of life is not a distant or abstract concept. It is a living, breathing structure that you can walk through every day. The more you align with its energies, the more your life will reflect its divine order. Start viewing your everyday experiences through the lens of the tree. Each challenge, each success, is a branch on your path of spiritual evolution. The ups and downs of life are not obstacles, they are the very material from which your growth is shaped. Whether you are facing conflict in your relationships, difficulty in your work, or inner turmoil, remember that these moments are opportunities to ascend the tree, to balance your energies, to integrate dualities, and to manifest your highest potential. As we conclude our journey through the sacred and mystifying tree of life, it becomes clear that this ancient symbol is far more than a mere philosophical concept or a historical artifact. The tree is a living embodiment of the universe itself, a map that not only charts the course of the cosmos but also reveals the deep, intricate pathways of the soul. It invites us to transcend the boundaries of ordinary existence and ascend to new heights of understanding, consciousness, and spiritual evolution. In embracing the wisdom of the tree, we are given a profound tool for transformation. The dualities we encounter within it, mercy and severity, creation and destruction, spirit and matter, are not to be feared or rejected, but embraced and balanced. It is through this balance that we find true harmony, not only within ourselves but within the world around us. The tree of life offers us the gift of integration. By grounding ourselves in the material world while also reaching for the spiritual, we can live in alignment with the divine order. The path of ascension, while challenging, is also a deeply rewarding one, a path that allows us to shed the limitations of the ego and become more attuned to the greater mysteries of existence. In your own life, the tree is not some distant ideal. It is an intimate, personal guide, inviting you to cultivate balance, embrace transformation, and manifest your highest potential. Every branch, every sapphira, and every step on the path represents a choice, a shift in consciousness, a deeper revelation. And while the journey may be long, the rewards are immense: greater wisdom, deeper peace, and the ability to co-create with the divine. So, I leave you with a question to ponder. What would it mean for you to live as though your life was a reflection of the tree of life? How would your thoughts, your actions, and your relationships transform if you recognize that every moment, every choice, is part of the divine blueprint? The tree is always within you. Will you answer its call? Thank you for exploring the depths of the tree of life with me. If you feel moved to embark on your own journey of spiritual growth, remember that the tree is always there, waiting for you to ascend. Let this be the start of your own transformation, as you uncover the sacred, living blueprint of existence.